I first saw Bad News Bears when I was age 6. In advance of seeing Star Wars 1 year later, and sci-fi would take over and capture my imagination, like The Bad News Bears was the movie that defined my childhood.
Who do we appreciate?
Most of the kid entertainment stuff was a bunch of adults going, kids will like this. The Bad News Bears felt like we had made it. It felt like kids had made the movie because kids were such a big part of it. And they weren't camera ready, movie beautiful, TV gorgeous kids. They looked like normal kids. Still to this day, I don't think anyone has ever assembled a better cast of children in a movie or a TV show.
There'll be no vote, Engelberg.
What about Amanda?
You ain't strapped one of these things on me.
Well, if she don't wear one, I don't wear one.
The performances are so raw and natural and not polished that those kids sound real. It sounds like you're actually doing a documentary about a Little League team in California. The movie hinges on the centerpiece relationship between Morris Buttermaker and Amanda Wurlitzer. So the great Walter Matthau and the amazing Tatum O'Neal, who was coming off of Paper Moon. She had just won an Oscar when she played Amanda in The Bad News Bears. And Walter Matthau, you know, had been around forever, and The Odd Couple movie. And those performances, and you're talking about two of the more polished performances in the movie. Walter Matthau is an absolute pro, so he's just knocking it out the park. But Tatum O'Neal, it's only her second movie ever. And still, the chemistry between Walter Matthau and Tatum O'Neal is electric. And one of my favorite scenes in a movie ever is when, and I'll probably get emotional talking about it, still chokes me up even thinking about it, is their scene in the dugout, like the day before the big game, where she's trying to make a date for him and her mom.
Got a big surprise for you after, too. We're all going to dinner.
What?
And after that, we're going to the drive-in movie. It's a double feature.
Let's play it by ear, see how things go tomorrow.
Because she's like, oh, this is great. Maybe it could be like it was, back in the old days. And he's trying to like curb her expectations and be like, well, we'll see. And she keeps pushing.
I don't think it's a very good idea, Amanda.
No excuses, Boilermaker. It's all fixed, and I'm paying, so you can't cry poor.
And he loses it and like throws a beer in her face and screams at her.
I'm a bum.
No, you're not. You taught me how to pitch. You taught me how to...
God damn it! Can't you get it through your thick head that I don't want your company? If I did, I would have looked you up 2 years ago. I wouldn't have waited 2 goddamn years.
And the kid, like any other child, I'm an adult and I'm getting like choked up thinking about it. Any child would break down. Amanda Wurlitzer, Tatum O'Neal's performance, she's shocked and you see the hurt, but then she plays it cool at school and she's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then she walks out of the dugout and Michael Ritchie tracks around her. By the time he comes around to her full front, she's got tears rolling down her face. I'll work my whole life in this business. I will never make a scene as beautiful as that scene. This is a comedy, kids. Comedy, and it can still do this too, because it's not just a comedy, it's a human drama. I wish every movie was as powerful as The Bad News Bears. It is hands down one of the greatest American films ever made.